Describe the end behavior of this graph. Okay, the graph of this function. Let's start with the fact that you have an exponential function because I have base 4 raised to the 4th power. Now, let me see. I need a pretty small pen. There we go. That means you have this graph that runs along the x-axis. It curves, goes through 1, and then shoots on up like this somehow. Okay? Now, if they put a -8 on that, so you've got this exponential function, -8, that is going to drop the graph down 8 spots. So right here, you're at the 1. You're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're actually going to be at -7. But what happens is your original asymptote, which was the x-axis, is now going to be this horizontal line going through the -8, okay? And now your graph runs along that line and then curves and goes up. Now, there is a coefficient of a -5 on that, and that the 5 kind of just changes how steep it is and stuff, but the negative, let's see, what color? How about orange. Okay. The negative here, since you have a negative in front of the entire function, that is going to flip it around the x-axis. So, orange, or it's going to flip it actually. It was originally going to be around the x-axis, but because your asymptote, which was the x-axis, has now moved down to -8, it's going to flip over that. And so your final graph is going to run along this curve and go through here. Why is it doing that? Curve here and then go like that. So your orange line is like a mirror image of your blue one. And again, the asymptote is right here. So my final graph is actually way down here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's my asymptote. It's going to go through 9. So it's going to do this. That's my actual graph. That's the graph I have to look at. And they're asking me, as x approaches -infinity, what does your f of x approach? Okay. When you're on this graph, every single point on this graph has an x coordinate. But as I'm going in the direction that I'm going, I'm actually moving towards -infinity. As x approaches -infinity. That's when I'm going from here to there. I keep moving to the left. I'm approaching -infinity. They want to know what is the y coordinate approaching. That's what f of x is. So when I am at, let's say, let me draw my y down here. Let's say I am at this point right here. This point's x coordinate is here and its y coordinate is there. When you get to this point, his x coordinate is there, his y coordinate is right there. When you're at this point, his x coordinate is there, his y coordinate is there. When I'm at this point, see how the x coordinates, they're going from here to here to here to here. They're approaching -infinity. What are my y coordinates doing? This point, and then this point, is here, and this point is here, and this point. See how much they look like they're all pointing at the same y coordinate? They started down here. This is this y coordinate. This is this y coordinate. Now this one, and this one, and this one. They're all like, they're getting closer and closer and closer to my horizontal asymptote, which I will put, let me do that in a highlighter. How about light pink? My horizontal asymptote was right here, which was at y equals -8. They will never go above that line. This graph here never ever goes above that horizontal line. So my y coordinates are approaching that horizontal line of -8. That's what they're getting closer to. Now it says as x approaches positive infinity, as x approaches positive infinity is this way. Positive infinity is this way. So as your x's are going, now remember this graph is going downhill, but as you go downhill, you are moving to the right. So I'm going closer and closer to infinity, but I'm going to be going down a lot faster than I am going to the right. And I can't even show you this because I've run out of space, but my y's are going down, 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 down. So my y's are approaching negative infinity. Because as you go down, 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 you are going to the right, but you're also going down. So it's approaching negative infinity. And you can see I wrote that right there, negative infinity. And that is the correct answer. I checked it earlier when I did my, how did I do button. So those are my answers, -8 and infinity.